Okay, first of all, apologies for just Hare Krishna. क्या कर रहे हो? Headphone लेकर आओ. Sorry, apologies for this little delay. Not used to this early morning, this whole arrangement of technical gadgets here. And last minute, we made a change from YouTube to Zoom. So devotees are running around to make changes. All right. So thank you all for joining in. Let me just briefly speak about this program. What is this program all about? How we wish to have this program? And all of you are welcome to give me your feedback. This will be the part of a discussion today, and we'll also do a little bit of reading today. So this program that we are starting, titled as Be a Yogi, Hare Krishna. Loud and clear? The sound? You want a little bit tweak it? Listen to this and then you can tweak that sound. How do you have an microphone first? How do you hear this one? How much? So the sound quality. Hare Krishna. Oh, the video quality is terrible. Okay, Hare Krishna. Take it next time. We'll just. So the idea behind this program, in previous years, we have been doing a lot of courses based on Bhagavad Gita. But this year I wanted to read Srila Prabhupada's purpose, everything as it is, beginning from preface up to the last page. So how we have designed this course, or what's my thought process? Every morning we'll have it from 6:40 to 7:15. Exception is today. We got a few minutes late to start it. We'll also take a look, maybe weekends, we can ask all of you if you wish, we can delay the program, whatever, we'll decide for it. Anyways, today is the first day. So half an hour, 30 minutes reading, and 5 minutes would be a kind of a summary of the key points that we have learned during the discussion. Along with that, I also aim to encourage all of you to learn shlokas every day, every morning, either before the class starts or the session happens, or after that, I'll share a shloka for the day. I'll share the shloka as well as the meter, the recitation. So you'll have a day to learn it. And the best way to learn shlokas, I'll share the small video also, how to memorize shloka. So this Gita Jayanti, we distribute books, which we should distribute books, no doubt about it. We hear about Bhagavad Gita, fantastic. But many times devotees forget to read Bhagavad Gita. So that's the whole objective for this program like this. Because it's going to be a little compact and Bhagavad Gita is long. So we'll not have any interactions during the course. What we'll have, 30 minutes, I would be reading out. If in case for some reason I'm not available, another devotee would read out the whole section, which we have decided for that particular day, like that. And what was the thing? The reading would happen like this. Oh, I just skipped my head. What was the point? Fine. So reading would happen like this, and no interaction, which means if you have any questions, we'll share the online link. It will be a form where you can include your name and phone number and have a question. Whatever question you have, you can write it there. And within 24 hours, we'll try to revert back. Largely, you should try to put your WhatsApp number so that I can leave a voice note. And if the question is pertinent to all, we'll share the question on the WhatsApp group that we have created for everyone's perusal. Other thing, just want to quickly show you around. When you would have signed for this course, you would have seen, let me just open that 1 second. It's over here, yeah. 1 second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Yes. So when you would have signed in for this program, so go to evolvepune.com, click on the login up over here, and when you log in here, this will take you to your dashboard. So over here you see the dashboard, just click on dashboard here. Is it audible? Sound is not coming. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. And when you come down here, you will see your courses. So whoever has signed in for this program, okay, whoever has signed in for this program, you'll see 2 courses under your profile. So here, let's click on the first course. So the first course open, 1 second. So here what we have is this is the Gita course that I had done it previously, where you have a summary of all the 18 chapters. So the moment we finish the first chapter, then you can come over here. I'll share the video link also. You come here on this your student profile, and you can hear, of course, the YouTube is not working for me, so therefore you're not able to see the video here. But when you come over here, you'll find the video for the first chapter, which is a summary, which is 1 hour approximate video, both in English and Hindi. You can download the presentation here, and also it has a quiz. For every chapter, there is a quiz which you can solve. That is the one thing that you would have to do. Second thing, other courses, be a yogi course. We are making it YouTube also because this is not the time which is suitable for many, and I'll give you my reason why I chose the early morning hours. So we have made this course available on YouTube also. So you can come over here, click on it, and you'll find the YouTube recording over here, which you can watch it as your leisure, or you can just go on Evolve Pune YouTube channel and find it there. Last but not the least, why did I choose this early morning time? Reading early in the morning is very, very effective. And if you can finish our reading in the morning, then we are free. Particularly those who are practicing devotees, they know that they can chant 16 hours, and they know they have to chant 16 hours, so they definitely finish their 16 hours by the end of the day. But many of times we don't read Bhagavad Gita or Srila Prabhupada books. And those of us who are new, who are joining for the first time to read Bhagavad Gita, for them early morning reading would be really, really effective. That's a whole background about this starting an early morning program. With that, keeping it short, I really want to start with the reading for today. I hope the perspective about starting it early, the idea behind 30 minutes reading, I don't want to keep it a long. Otherwise, we want to keep it a short program so everyone is able to come every day. And along with that, you have video classes to hear, quizzes to solve. So it is a wholesome program. Let's see how we are able to continue with it. And of course, shlokas to learn. I aim to at least make sure by the end of this program, all of us have learned at least 50 plus shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. So every day you'll have a shloka. It's up to you to memorize. Maybe at the end of the program, you have certificate, you have awards, prizes. Maybe at the end of this whole course, when we finish our 18 chapters, maybe we can have a shloka competition, where all of you can come and recite shlokas, and whoever recites the maximum shlokas will get the prize. We can have that. I'm just thinking, it's just a very quick thought process I had it behind starting this program, okay? And the very latest thinking was to have it on Zoom. Just 5 minutes before the program, we went on Zoom also. So with that, let's begin with our today's discussion. So we'll start reading from preface. Hare Krishna. All right, so is all visible? Okay. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, and I'm starting from preface. We'll try to cover preface and maybe some part of introduction today. Preface written by Srila Prabhupada. Originally, I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is in the form which it is presented now. When this book was first published, the original manuscript was unfortunately cut short to less than 400 pages, without illustrations, without explanations for most of the original verses of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In all of my other books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Ishopanishad, etc., the system is that I give the original verse, English transliteration, word for word Sanskrit English equivalence, translations, and purports. This makes the book very authentic and scholarly, and makes the meaning self-evident. I was not very happy, therefore, when I had to minimize my original manuscript. But later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested by many scholars and devotees to present the book in its original form. So Srila Prabhupada is writing his history here of how the Bhagavad Gita printing happened. Just to make a point here, Prabhupada is explaining that how when the first English book was printed in America, I believe by Macmillan Company, it was right in the beginning of the movement. So they were very didn't want to invest so much money, considering that the book has become very bulky, because Prabhupada had written it in a scholarly way. The meanings, translation, and purport was very easy to understand, but scholarly presentation, rather I should say that way. So the first printing of Bhagavad Gita had happened in an abridged form, which means a condensed form. It did not have word-to-word meaning. It did not have, the whole explanation of, like details of the things. There were no pictures, nothing like that. That's what Srila Prabhupada is explaining here. The first printing of Bhagavad Gita was in a condensed form. But when the Bhagavad Gita was accepted widely, then Prabhupada had an opportunity to present his case. And in fact, Prabhupada actually changed the publisher only. Then he found a publisher from Japan, and through that, the whole Bhagavad Gita as we know of today, with word-to-word meaning, the Sanskrit into English, and then transliteration, then translation purport. That's how the current version that we have came up. So Prabhupada says, but later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested. I already read that. Thus, the present attempt is to offer the original manuscript of this great book of knowledge with full parampara explanation in order to establish the Krishna consciousness movement more soundly and progressively. Our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural, and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most powerful movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generation. It is becoming more and more interesting to the older generation also. Older gentlemen are becoming interested, so much so that the fathers and grandfathers of my disciples are encouraging us by becoming life members of our great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for my leading the Krishna conscious movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it is greatly fortunate for the Americans that I have started the Krishna conscious movement in America. But actually, the original father of this movement is Lord Shri Krishna himself, since it was started a very long time ago, but is coming down to human society by disciplic succession. We'll read about it in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the history of Bhagavad Gita. If I have any credit, very important line, if I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my eternal spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka 108 Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. If personally I have any credit in this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any adulteration. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, a reporter asked, what is your contribution? Srila Prabhupada said, I have presented it as it is. It may sound simple just to copy and present it, but that is the most difficult thing when it comes to presenting philosophy, because everyone wants to add their own realizations and understanding. So Prabhupada says, no, my only contribution is that I have presented Bhagavad Gita as it is, and which is the greatest contribution. Therefore, Prabhupada named his commentary of Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. Kindly note. But our attempt in presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is to present the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Our business is to present the will of Krishna, not that of any mundane speculator like the politician, philosopher, or scientist, for they have very little knowledge of Krishna despite all their other knowledge. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava madhavakto madhyajimam namaskaru, we, unlike the so-called scholars, do not say that Krishna and his inner spirit are different. Krishna is absolute, and there is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, etc. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand for any person who is a non-devotee of Krishna in the system of parampara, disciplic succession. Again, Lord Shri Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Evam parampara praptam. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Unless you're connected to disciplic succession, you cannot understand this message. Generally, the so-called scholars, politicians, philosophers, and swamis, without perfect knowledge of Krishna, try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Such unauthorized commentary upon Bhagavad Gita is known as Mayavad Bhasya. And Lord Chaitanya has warned us about these unauthorized men. Lord Chaitanya clearly says that anyone who tries to understand Bhagavad Gita from the Mayavadi point of view will commit a great blunder. The result of such a blunder will be that the misguided student of Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual guidance and will not be able to go back to home, back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita was spoken on the onset of a battlefield. Long story short, the message of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna was hopeless, turned into hope. His pessimism was turned into optimism. His negativity was turned into positivity. And of course, the whole message of Bhagavad Gita is to guide us back home, back to Godhead. So if the message of Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna could bring about the transformation of in Arjuna, the authenticity of the commentary of Bhagavad Gita is based on if it is about to bring transformation in the lives or not. If after reading Bhagavad Gita, so many people in India have read so much about Bhagavad Gita from different authors, or maybe at least some popular Bhagavad Gitas which are available in the market, but if there is no transformation has happened, then you have not read Bhagavad Gita. That is a point being highlighted here. Just like Krishna spoke to Arjuna and his life was transformed, similarly, if we read Bhagavad Gita, our life should get transformed. And that is the offering by Srila Prabhupada and the greatest contribution by Srila Prabhupada to all of us. His Bhagavad Gita, his commentary of Bhagavad Gita brought about transformation. Our only purpose is to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is in order to guide the conditioned student to the same purpose for which Krishna descends to this planet once in a day of Brahma, or every, it's a huge number, you can figure it out. This purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita and we have to accept it as it is. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita. And a speaker, Lord Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna first spoke Bhagavad Gita to the sun god some hundreds of millions of years ago. We have to accept this fact and thus understand the historical significance of Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without misinterpretation, on the authority of Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is the greatest offense. In order to save oneself from this offense, one has to understand the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he was directly understood by Arjuna, Lord Krishna's first disciple. Such understanding of Bhagavad Gita is really profitable and authorized for the welfare of human society in fulfilling the mission of life. The Krishna consciousness movement is essential in human society, for it offers the highest perfection of life. How this is so is explained fully in the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, mundane wranglers, which means speculators, have taken advantage of Bhagavad Gita to push forward their demoniac propensities and mislead people regarding right understanding of the simple principles of life. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, even Hiranyakashipu spoke Bhagavad Gita to his family members. He spoke about Prakriti, he spoke about Karma, he spoke about Jivatma, he spoke about Kala, he spoke about Paramatma, but he did not speak about Krishna. That's what Prabhupada is saying, demoniac propensities, to fulfill their own agenda. Everyone should know how God or Krishna is great. Everyone should know the factual position of the living entities. Everyone should know that a living entity is eternally a servant, and that unless one serves Krishna, one has to serve illusion in different varieties of the three modes of material nature, and thus wander perpetually within the cycle of birth and death. Even the so-called liberated Mayavadi speculator has to undergo this process. This knowledge constitutes a great science, and each and every living being has to hear it for his own interest. I repeat, if you are reading from your copy of Bhagavad Gita, you want to mark it. This knowledge constitutes a great science. This is not a knowledge of a religion. It's about science, science of self. And each and every living being has to hear it for his own interest. People in general, especially in this age of Kali, are enamored. Enamored means attracted by the external energy of Krishna. And they wrongly think that by advancement of material comforts, every man will be happy. The proof is our ancestors, our grandparents, or parents were more happy than the generation today. I'm just giving a quick example. They have no knowledge that the material external nature is very strong, for everyone is strongly bound by the stringent laws of material nature. A living entity is happily the part and parcel of the Lord, and thus his natural function is to render immediate service to the Lord. By the spell of illusion, one tries to be happy by serving his personal gratification in different forms, which will never make him happy. Instead of satisfying his own personal material senses, he has to satisfy the senses of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this and he demands it. One has to understand the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the whole world the central point. And because we are not polluting the theme of Bhagavad Gita as it is, anyone seriously interested in deriving benefit by studying the Bhagavad Gita must take help from the Krishna consciousness movement for practical understanding of Bhagavad Gita under the direct guidance of the Lord. One disciple of somebody, not disciple, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, we are so unfortunate that we are not present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that we are not getting to hear from Krishna directly. And Prabhupada said, you are such a fool. Spiritual principle doesn't work like that. Either we are present in the direct audience of Krishna and hearing from Krishna, or we are hearing the message of Bhagavad Gita from his bona fide authority, does not make a difference. And that is a point Prabhupada is highlighting here. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the whole world this central point, and because we are not polluting the theme of Bhagavad Gita as it is, anyone seriously interested in deriving benefit by studying the Bhagavad Gita must take help from the Krishna consciousness movement for practical understanding of Bhagavad Gita under the direct guidance of the Lord, which means hearing from a bona fide authority is directly hearing from the Lord directly. We hope, Prabhupada concludes, therefore, that people will derive the greatest benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita as it is, as we have presented it here. And if even one man becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, we shall consider our attempt a success. Signed, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, 12th May 1971, Sydney, Australia. That concludes the preface. Now begins the introduction. I did not intentionally offer the prayers because I just wanted to go with the flow. Now, introduction to Bhagavad Gita begins, where Prabhupada will offer. Actually, this introduction to Bhagavad Gita is actually based on a lecture that Srila Prabhupada had given, and we'll look at the prayers. I'll recite the prayers today, and next time onward, which means when we meet tomorrow morning, we'll recite the prayers in short, and we'll continue our reading with that. All right, so let's take a look at the prayers as well as the meaning. I would highly encourage and everyone that we should learn these prayers. So this is called as Mangala Charan. Let me just make one or two points about it so we are at least philosophically clear. Mangala Charan refers to creating auspiciousness. Whenever we want to do anything, we want an auspicious movement to begin any activity. So by offering prayers to Guru and Gauranga and taking blessings of our acharyas, of our teachers, and blessing of the Supreme Personality Godhead, then any activity that we do becomes auspicious. Therefore, whenever we do any spiritual activity, even for that reason, material activity, we should invoke auspiciousness by offering these prayers. So these are the prayers which are very, very important for us to memorize, to learn. What is it? Let's see. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टां स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्. The meaning. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. This is the meaning of the first prayer. Then the second prayer, Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam. The meaning is as follows. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Next prayer. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta-pada-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my special master and to the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami along with his elder brother Srila Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt, Gopal Bhatt, Srila Jiva Goswami. So here the prayer I offer to Sadhu Goswamis. First to our spiritual master, then to our acharyas. Like that, the prayers are being offered here. Then, after offering prayers to Guru Parampara, then we offer prayers to the Lord, which is now. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya. So here the prayer is offered to Panchatattva, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adi, Gaura Bhaktivinoda. To them, prayer is offered. And then finally, in the last line, Shri Radha Krishna Pradhan, where prayer is offered to Shri Radha Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radha Rani and Shri Krishna, along with their associates Shri Lalita and Vishaka. Now there is a dedicated prayer offered to Lord Shri Krishna as well as Srimati Radharani. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate. O my dear Krishna, ocean of mercy, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the coward men and the lover of the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Now to Srimati Radharani. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Brishmanu, and you are very dear to Lord Shri Krishna. And then we offer prayers to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they're full of compassion for the fallen souls. To Panchatattva, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gau Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in our case, this is Srila Prabhupada who is speaking. So in our case, we have to also offer a prayer to one more person, and that is to Srila Prabhupada, who is our immediate spiritual master. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashatadi Shatarine. Hare Krishna. With all this auspicious invocation, we will begin our Bhagavad Gita reading, but not today. We'll continue from tomorrow. So today we read preface. I spoke about it while discussing the preface. In essence, in preface, Prabhupada a little bit gives a background of this whole Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada talks about how this Bhagavad Gita printing came into existence. First of all, he printed a abridged version, and then later on, when the demand grew, Prabhupada was able to publish the Bhagavad Gita as he wanted it. Sanskrit shloka, the English equivalent of it, then the transliteration word to one meaning, then translation and the whole purport, along with many beautiful pictures with a hard bound. The first printing of Bhagavad Gita was a soft bound Bhagavad Gita, And then now we have a hardbound copy. This is how Srila Prabhupada wanted to print. And then Srila Prabhupada in the preface writes about the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita. What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? The purpose and the aim of Bhagavad Gita is to take us back to Godhead. And there Prabhupada also includes the warning that we should be very careful about reading Bhagavad Gita written by unscrupulous, mundane wranglers or interpreters who write a commentary on Bhagavad Gita to fulfill their personal ambition. Krishna says, Man mana bhavatto madayaji manos, surrender unto me. And they say, no, Krishna and spirit is same, surrender unto you, you are the God, and etc., like that. And then Srila Prabhupada also briefly spoke about the history of Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada said the movement, this Krishna consciousness movement is not started now. It was started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and actually originally was started by Lord Shri Krishna Mahaprabhu. Was started by Lord Shri Krishna himself. And then Prabhupada also made a point, even that was not 5,000 years ago. Krishna first of all gave the message of Bhagavad Gita to Sun God long ago. After having a brief history of Bhagavad Gita, and then Prabhupada made one more point about somebody may think, oh, I don't have the opportunity to hear from Krishna directly. Wish I was present with Krishna, because the nature of mind is to ignore what we have and to always hanker for what we don't have. But that's not how spiritual life functions. So Prabhupada makes a point that maybe Krishna is not there for you to hear directly from Krishna, but hearing from his bona fide authority is as good as hearing from Krishna. So whoever comes and takes part into this International Society for Krishna Consciousness movement gets to read Bhagavad Gita's commentary written by Srila Prabhupada as it is, will have the same impact on their consciousness as Arjuna had at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Like that, Srila Prabhupada concludes his preface, and after that we read Mangalacharan. What is Mangalacharan? I briefly spoke about it. And tomorrow onwards, we'll begin to read the introduction. With that, we are 2 minutes above our time, so I will pause here. Thank you for your kind attention. This was the first session. You're more than welcome to give your feedbacks. Anything you can post on the WhatsApp group or else on the YouTube link, so we'll get to know about it. I see there are so many messages going on. I feel this is more or largely a distraction because I want all of you to focus. So next time, tomorrow onwards, we'll disable the chats because there's nothing for you to write on the chat. You're supposed to read. And if you have any question, that question should come on the link. The link has been shared both on the Zoom chat as well as on the YouTube video chat. So we'll continue from tomorrow. And please, any feedbacks, any comments, you can send me a message personally about this whole program. If you have any suggestions to make for improvements, things like that. But as I said, I would not have much interaction during the program. Otherwise, we'll not be able to focus on Prabhupada's writings. We'll not be able to read through Bhagavad Gita. And people want it to finish quickly. So we want to make sure we stay on our schedule. So unfortunately, you have to hear my voice all through the sessions. I'll be reading it. So how I plan to do it, when the shlokas will begin, we'll recite the shloka, go through the translation and purport, and very, very minor points I may add here and there, just for your little clarification. I will not speak anything. I just largely want to read Prabhupada's writings. And this is the book which brought about the transformation. So we get to read this Bhagavad Gita. After 2.5 months, our life would be changed. That is Krishna's promise in Bhagavad Gita. And that is what Prabhupada did practically. With that, thank you all. Let's continue with our respective responsibilities and services for the day. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki